Hey everyone, welcome to 3 Guys 1 Movie. We figured since it's about halfway through the year, a little late on this, but...
A little late.
We were just going to go over our 10 favorite films each of the year so far, and just recommend them to you guys if you guys haven't seen them yet. They're definitely ones you should see before the end of the year. I'm sure a lot of these will shift around by the end of the year.
Probably.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, this is just our favorites so far. We're just going to really quickly run through everyone's 10 through 6.
Okay.
I guess I'll go first. At number 10, I would put Mission Impossible Fallout. I really enjoyed this movie. We did record a review for it. Not sure if it'll be up before or after this video, but it'll be up at some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. I think it's one of the better action movies to come out recently. There's a lot of really interesting practical stunt work done.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise is great, like
he almost
usual.
killed himself a few times.
Yeah. The man's committed to his job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, if you like the Mission Impossible movies, you're going to like it. Even if you don't, I think this one might pull you in a little more than the rest of them, because it is, on a technical level, probably better than all of them. And then my number 9 is You Were Never Really Here. Me and Zach did a review for this when it came out. Joaquin Phoenix's performance in this one is still one of my favorite performances this year. I think it's super strong. This is another movie that, watching it multiple times, it definitely becomes a better movie. Like, I've liked it more the more times that I've watched it and the more that I've thought about it.
Okay.
It's definitely a thinker. Lynn Ramsey's a great director. I'd love to see what she does next. My number 8 is American Animals. This one I haven't even seen a second time, but just from thinking about it, it's been climbing my list. Because this is the one where it's the 4 guys who decide to rob a library of a famous book because their lives are boring. That's their reason. It's the strangest thing, and the movie is half documentary, half fictional narrative, and blends the two seamlessly in a way that I haven't really seen before. And there's a really interesting takeaway, like a philosophical takeaway at the end of the film that I think is worth watching the film just for the ending note that it leaves you on. And it's grown on me a lot, just thinking about it. My number 7 was Annihilation. This was really high up my list for a while, and then it was weird. The first, I'd say 3 times I watched it, it got better each time, and then the 4th time I watched it, it went down. I don't know why. There was just something about it. I started to notice little things about it that kind of irked me. And I also watched Ex Machina again recently, which is another Alex Garland film, and that movie is so much tighter than Annihilation is.
Yeah,
Annihilation might be a little prettier, but it's so much tighter from a story standpoint.
Yeah. Even
though I still love what Annihilation does, and I love how open it is, and I love that it's not the type of film we get often, so I appreciate that it's so different. But it's just, it hasn't held up as well for me as when I first saw it the first 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then my number 6... Actually, this one surprised me how high it got, but Deadpool 2. I fucking love this movie. And, like, I am usually the naysayer with superhero movies, and Marvel or DC, doesn't really matter. I'm usually like, eh. But this was one of the few where I genuinely loved it, and I've been telling everyone I know to go see it, because I think it's hilarious, I think it's really well made, I think it has a lot of genuine heart to it, and it's just one of my favorites so far this year.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Was that your 6?
Yeah.
Sir. My number 10 is Tomb Raider. I had a lot of fun in this movie. It's better than the other 2 movies, hands down. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was kind of just, nothing special by any means, but I guess if you're a fan of the video games, you'd really like it. It's more like the video games than it is like the, the original movies or whatever. But I had a lot of fun, and the villain was good, so I liked that.
Oh, it's like Walter Goggins.
Yeah, he's good in everything. My number 9 is Solo. It's not amazing, but it was fun at points, and there's really cool like callbacks to things, and I liked how they showed Han and Chewie meeting for the first time. I thought that was pretty cool. And it's not the greatest Star Wars movie. It's not the worst Star Wars movie. It's been able to run for me, but unfortunately it's killing the Star Wars stories, so, but that's my number 9. My number 8 is Jurassic World, The Lost Kingdom, so, yeah, Fallen Kingdom. Nothing special again. It was better than the first Jurassic World to me, personally. This movie did get shit on quite a bit. I thought it was, okay. There's a lot of things in the movie where I was like, well, that's dumb. but I thought it was fun. I was never really bored until the ending part was probably the most boring part of the movie.
Okay.
My number 7 is Super Troopers 2. It was I thought I died every time. It was a really funny movie. I really liked it. It held up with the first one. The first one was way better, obviously, because that happens a lot, especially when you have that much time in between the movies. But at least it didn't turn out like an Anchorman 2 to compare to the first one. You know, like Anchorman 2 is fine, but whatever. But Super Troopers 2 was really good, I thought. Lots of really funny Canadian references in that, and I thought it was really light-hearted, but it was a good comedy. And my number 6 is Deadpool 2 as well. It was really good. I actually liked it better than the first Deadpool movie. Ryan Reynolds killed it like usual. He's literally the perfect person for this role, and Deadpool 2 had so much more heart than the first one, I thought. It had a really cool group of, friends come together at the end there, and Ryan Reynolds really knows how to make a good movie, and lots of really cool references and things you weren't expecting. But I think I liked it the most because it had a lot of heart compared to the first one.
Okay. Going to my 10 to 6. Number 10 is You Would Never Really Hear. We did a review on it. Angus just talked about it. So, Joaquin Phoenix, great performance. It's a thinker, not a stinker. Number 9 is Unsane, Steven Soderbergh's newest movie with Claire Foy.
Shot on an iPhone.
Shot on an iPhone, set entirely in a hospital. Really, really good movie. I really enjoyed it. Very suspenseful. It kind of fell off a little bit for me near the end, but overall, still really, really good movie. It kind of reminded me of a bit of Side Effects as well, in terms of almost like a commentary on the healthcare industry and stuff like that. Number 8 is Annihilation, a really solid sci-fi movie. Beautiful imagery. I know a lot of people kind of complain about some of the CGI. I never really noticed anything bad about it. I thought CGI was really well done. The bear scene's like one of the creepiest things I've seen all year, or in a while. Good performance from Natalie Portman, and even though he doesn't have a lot of screen time, Oscar Isaac as well, and all the women in the film, really good performances. Besides Jennifer Jason Leigh.
Yeah.
She
no, I was gonna say besides the one that goes crazy.
The medic.
Yeah. I didn't find her performance that bad, but it's just like her character kind of got a little meh near the end.
Yeah.
Number 7, Mission Impossible Fallout. Like I said, we have a review whenever it's coming out. Great action movie. Tom Cruise, the man has no fear.
Like I said, he tries to kill himself every movie.
Yep, he's really well. Great stunts. I like Henry Cavill in the film.
Was
good
it
story.
Worth the mustache though?
Yeah,
it's a good mustache.
It's a damn good mustache. Good story. Like a really nice follow up to the previous one, Rogue Nation. Really, really, really good. Number 6 is Paddington 2.
Really?
This movie is fucking great. I love this movie. I was completely surprised for going into this film and coming out thinking it was as good as it was. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, it's a great kids movie. It's genuinely funny. It's got so much heart to it. I loved it. It was great.
It got political too.
Yeah. But and it's like the only kids movie I can honestly think of that I actually saw it twice in theaters. I had never had any interest in seeing like any other kids movie or any kind of film like this in a theater, let alone twice. So yeah, it's great. It's really good.
Going into our top 5 now. My number 5 was Upgrade. We just posted a review for this. I was really freaking impressed with this movie. I was excited for it before it came out, but I was not expecting to be quite as surprised by it as I was. Like it was. I was expecting it to be good, but this is like great for me.
Yeah.
This is a really interesting, kind of self-aware, really weirdly smart movie, considering how dumb it could have been.
Yeah.
It's got a really interesting narrative twist thrown in there. Like, it has a tonal shift that we talked about in our review and all that stuff, but it's all really effective. The lead performance by Logan Marshall Green is actually really good. He's kind of bootleg Tom Hardy, but he's really good in the movie. I just really like Leigh Whannell, and I want him to keep making movies if he keeps making things like this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely check out our review, though, because we go more in depth on it.
Yeah.
My number 5 has already been said by both of you, but Annihilation.
Oh, okay.
It's up high for me because I just really love that genre. It kind of fit in the same Arrival kind of area for me.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely get feelings of like flashbacks to Arrival.
Like the whole the music was like, like that kind of shit.
And so, Stalker. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. It's to me it was really cool. You guys already talked about it, but the bear scene just blew me away. The giant albino alligator. That was pretty cool. Emma Thompson, was it her name? Emma Thompson?
Who?
I think that's her name.
Emma Thompson. That's
Emma Thompson.
She's not in this
not
movie.
Emma Thompson. Anyways, her name's something Thompson. Anyways, she's. Let's look it up. That's what I need to know.
I'll look it up. You go.
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Thompson.
So she plays Valkyrie.
Yeah, she's a really good actress.
She's a great actress, and like her role was really interesting to me in Annihilation with the way that each person played a different role in the way that they handled the situation, and she kind of was like, this is nature taking back, and she kind of like gave into that, and like she became one with it, which I thought she was one of my favorite characters in the movie.
Yeah, she was really good. One of my favorites too.
And I really liked that sequence where she turned into the plant lady. But I really liked Annihilation. It was really good.
It's like that Goosebumps episode, Don't Go in the Basement.
Natalie Portman was probably one of my favorite parts of the movie. I'm not really a huge fan of hers, so...
She's hit or miss
yeah,
for me.
But I thought it really felt like it fit in the realm, and it made me go out and buy the book right away. So it's a trilogy, so...
Is the book any good?
Yeah, I mean, I think Annihilation's the second one in the series. I'm not sure. Maybe it's the first one. I don't know. I think they just... I have read the first one, but I can't remember the name. Yeah, I don't know if it was Annihilation or not, but it's a really cool book, and the movie did it justice, but also was way different. So, it's a good book, and you should definitely check out the trilogy. The movie is amazing, so definitely check that out.
Cool. My number 5, did a review on it. My number 5 is Hereditary. It is probably my favorite horror film to come out in like the last couple of years. I think before that, like Green Room. It's legitimately scary. It's legitimately suspenseful. Great performances. I love the family drama as well. It functions as a drama as well. Like the whole dynamic between them. It's great. Horrifying as hell. Check out our review for a more in-depth analysis. But definitely highly recommend it. Yeah. Really, really, really good.
My number 4 was Leave No Trace. A movie with Ben Foster in it and a first-time actress named Thomasin McKenzie. She's awesome for a really young performance. Like, she's probably going to be popping up in a lot of things recently. And this director, Deborah Granick, seems to have a thing for that, because she also, pretty sure, like, discovered Jennifer Lawrence, pretty much, film-wise, because Winter's Bone was the first thing she popped up in. It's the same director. It's pretty much about this dude who lives off the grid with his daughter, who suffers from like serious PTSD, and they just live in like the state park. And one day they get caught squatting out there and get forced to reintegrate into society, and his daughter gets forced to go to school, otherwise they're going to take her away from him and all this stuff. And it's a very quiet and slow movie, but it's a very effective movie that by the end of it kind of made me tear up. I didn't realize how much it got under my skin until the final scene. And then
what got under your skin, the whole movie, or the idea of...
Just the movie itself slowly got to me.
Yeah.
Because at first I didn't think I was that into it, and then by the time it hit the ending, I was like actually getting emotional over it, and I was like, okay, this movie actually worked really well. It's just very quiet in the way it does it. It's not constantly grabbing you by the shirt collar and shaking you, telling you to cry, right? But it's a very effective drama, and Ben Foster is fucking awesome. Like, he needs to be in more movies. But yeah, definitely recommend Leave No Trace.
My number 4 is A Quiet Place.
Okay.
I don't normally like horror movies. I'm not a horror movie fan. I'm a giant John Krasinski fan. And Emily Blunt is amazing. And
she's a phenomenal actress. For
him to make his directorial debut on this film...
It's not his first film he directed.
Oh, wasn't?
No.
Okay, scratch that. What was it? I just thought it was really good, and he's a great actor, and she's a great actress, and it's got a really cool concept to me, and I just love the way that they use sound in the film, and how very little of it they do use, and I think it's really cool to have an animal or a villain, monster type thing that is so hard for sound editors to work with, and I bet you there's probably a lot of challenges with the film that are really cool that they overcame, and it really made me sit on the edge of my seat, and I had my shirt over my face, and it was a really stressful movie, and normally I don't like that, but I really did like it, and the child actors were really good too, and it was just a really phenomenal movie to me. And I mean, there was a few parts in the movie that were like, not realistic, but it was really good to me. I thought it was a really good movie.
Cool. Moving on to my number 4 is Wes Anderson's latest film, Isle of Dogs. Big Wes Anderson fan. I really liked his last animation film he did, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I would personally say I prefer this film over that one. Still a great film, but I love this movie. Like all the voice acting was really, really well done, especially from Bryan Cranston. I love the visual style of the film. I love the setting. I love all the characters were really, really well. It was all really, really well done, and really nice story, really heartfelt story. Yeah, just really, really, really good.
I gotta see it.
I love the the Japanese style aesthetic to it. Like the opening scene is people drumming and stuff like that, and the animation is phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
It is so beautifully animated.
Yeah.
Like it's, and how it's shot too is just perfect. It's great.
Crazy talent goes into movies like that.
Mm-hmm. My number 3 was a movie called Lean on Pete, which was a road movie, I guess would be the best term to describe it. It's about a kid that pretty much falls in love with this horse and becomes obsessed with it, and finds out that the owner of it, who works at a racetrack, the horse name's Lean on Pete, and he tells him he's going to put the horse down. So the kid steals the horse and pretty much runs away across the countryside, just him and this horse, and it becomes like a road trip movie of a kid who's never really been away from his parents and had never really had to work for anything on his own kind of thing. He's always lived I think he lives with his uncle or whatever.
Okay.
But he pretty much runs away from everything just to stay with this horse and give it some extra time or whatever. But it's a very sad movie, but it's very, very good. It's not emotionally manipulative.
Okay.
I didn't feel like the movie was constantly trying to, it wasn't like a tearjerker type thing. It was a very naturally emotional movie. It's got one of the best supporting performances of the whole year, in my opinion, with Steve Buscemi playing the guy who's the horse trainer that he steals it from. He's really good in this. He kind of takes the kid under his wing and gives him a job and all this stuff.
He's not an asshole?
No.
Oh, okay.
Steve Buscemi's
he's just doing his job. He just has to put the horse down because it's a racing horse. Yeah. They can't use it, right? It's a very good movie. I recommend not looking too much into the plot synopsis beyond that, because the movie goes to some really interesting places that work. And it took a couple switches in the direction the story was going that surprised me along the way, so yeah, I'd highly recommend it. Just know that it might make you cry.
Well, it's got an animal that's going to be put down in it, so make me cry right away.
Mm-hmm.
Does it die? No, actually don't tell me. My third favorite movie of the year so far is Ant-Man and the Wasp.
That's number 3?
What do you think my top 3 are?
Paul Blart Mall top 3.
The Meg.
The Meg.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is my number 3 because I'm a completely biased Marvel fanboy, and they are the only movies that make me happy.
You should watch Paddington 2.
No.
That'll make you happy.
Ant-Man and the Wasp I thought was really good, really well done. It was really funny. I don't think it's as good as the first Ant-Man movie. It's definitely not the best Marvel movie to come out this year. But it was a good kind of in-between movie where they kind of didn't have anything to do with anything else, really. The only thing it really had to do with is him being on house arrest because of the Civil War.
Oh, okay, yeah.
fight and him partaking in it.
Breaking the rules.
And it kind of introduces another really key piece to the MCU, and that's the Wasp. And Evangeline Lilly plays the Wasp, she's an incredible actress.
Yeah, she's good.
And Paul Rudd is the perfect pick to play Scott Lang. So I was really happy with it, and I think it lived up to the expectation. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't think it was as good as the first movie, but I really enjoyed it, and I like the fact that it introduced the Wasp. Mm-hmm. The villain wasn't good. Ghost wasn't really a villain. She was more someone who was wronged and trying to save her own ass. So you kind of were like, you tried to make her redeemable, but like you didn't really make us feel for her like you did with someone like Eric Killmonger. Okay. But the end credit scene, which I won't spoil, that's what ties it into the rest of the stuff. So
I guess I'm just gonna going off a limb here, but does it tie into Infinity War?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, ties directly into it. It takes place basically during it. Gotcha. But I don't want to ruin it for people who haven't seen it. But you probably shouldn't listen to this podcast anyways if you haven't seen these movies. But
we don't want you here. Get out.
No. If you want to ruin it for yourself, that's cool. But no, I think it was really good. Ghost wasn't that great for me. So
I just love Paul Rudd though. Paul
Rudd's awesome. Great. Yeah, and the girl who they got to play his daughter is a really good actress. Cool. I like her.
My number 3 is Thoroughbreds. Really, really good, dark comedy. Great performances. I don't know. Angus has probably talked about it enough explained it enough to the point where it's just I completely agree. It's really well done. It's a really good story. Really phenomenal directorial debut. It's great. Go check it out. We've done a review on it already, so if you want to go...
Angus has already gone into depth.
Yeah. If you
want, I'm sure that's his number 1.
Yeah. If you we have a review of it on our channel already, so yeah, go check it out. Really, really good movie.
My number 2 is Blind Spotting. We just put out a review on this recently, so I'm just going to really quickly recap how I felt about it. The lead performances in this are 2 of the strongest ones. The whole year, Rafael Casal and Daveed Diggs both kill it. The soundtrack in this movie is awesome. I've actually been listening to the soundtrack a lot. I've discovered a lot of different hip-hop musicians through it. There's a bunch of people I didn't even know existed before they're in this soundtrack that are really good. It's a really important movie. It's got some shit to say.
Yes, absolutely.
But not in an educational way where it's screaming it in your face. It's very much a movie that will provoke discussion rather than, Crash, just tell you how things are and not give you any sort of discussion afterwards.
It's not manipulative in any way.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's just incredibly well made, and this is a directorial debut as well. It's a guy who's a music video director normally. He directs Capital Cities music videos.
Yeah. He directed some of Clipping's music videos as well.
Oh, okay. But yeah, really talented, everyone involved in this one. And it's definitely a movie that everyone should check out.
Mm-hmm. For sure. My number 2 is Black Panther. Again, with the biased Marvel... we've already done a review on Black Panther, so you know how I feel on it.
And everybody else has already talked about Black Panther, so...
Black Panther has been over-talked about of recent. It is a very good movie. It's well-deserving of being talked about, and I think that it has one of the most redeemable villains in any of the MCU films. Did a really good job with that, and they did a really, really cool job of creating Wakanda, and it was really, really well done, I thought. But I won't go into too much because we've already done that, and it's been overkilled. So.
My same with Angus. My number 2 is Blind Spotting. Really, really good story. Really good themes. Good film to discuss afterwards. Both Daveed Diggs and Rafael Casal, phenomenal performances. Again, the soundtrack. The rapping from both of them is great. It's a phenomenal film, and you should... I highly recommend you go see it. If it's playing near you, please go see this film. It is amazing.
My number 1's Thoroughbreds.
Really?
No surprise to anyone. It's
surprising.
It's the only movie that's come out in 2018 that I consider a 10 out of 10. It's like I've pretty much nonstop talked about this movie since it came out, but I think it's literally perfect. There's just nothing wrong with it. Anya Taylor-Joy and Olivia Cooke are still my two favorite lead performances of the whole year.
Really good performances.
By a mile. And Anton Yelchin's supporting role in this is great.
Yeah.
And I keep going back and rewatching this movie constantly, and it's great. It's a directorial debut. It's one of the best scripts of the whole year, and if you haven't seen it, definitely go watch it.
Mm-hmm.
My number one movie of the year is The Meg. Just joking. Infinity War. Of course, it's Infinity War. We've already talked about this many times. Infinity War, like I said, it takes everything the last 10 years of the MCU and it puts it in a box and with a nice little bow, and it fits everything in perfectly, and I am over the moon with how it turned out, and I'm really excited for Infinity War Part 2, which that's not the title, but that's what I'm calling it right now, because it's still a Part 2, even though it's not going to be one. But the movie summed everything up great, and all the characters, to me, it didn't get overwhelming with the characters. I was really nervous that it with that many characters and that many actors on set, it was going to be too overwhelming. Mm-hmm. But I think they balanced it perfectly.
Yeah.
It wasn't really unbalanced for me at all. They picked the right characters to, put together, especially after how well Ragnarok was and how much of it was like Guardians of the Galaxy. For him to show up with the Guardians was a really cool part, and Thanos is an incredible villain.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any MCU villain that's better than Thanos, personally. Maybe Loki.
Oh, no. By far, he's definitely the best one so far.
Yeah, for sure. And Loki's up there, but he's not really a villain anymore. He's kind of a hero now. But that's my number one of the year.
Cool. My number one, did a review on it already. First Reformed. Really dark subject matter that is done really, really, really well. Phenomenal performance. I guess I would say this is probably my favorite performance of the year so far from a male, from Ethan Hawke. Really, really well done. I kind of an underrated one from Amanda Seyfried. She's really great in this film. Very dark subject matter, dark themes, but tackled in a very appropriate way. It's phenomenal. I highly recommend it. My favorite film of the year so far. We got TIFF coming up, so probably something might sneak in there, come number one.
I'm sure there'll be some other really good things coming out.
So far, this film is it's phenomenal. Please go check it out.
Yeah, that sounds, you convinced me.
Yeah.
Sounds like you loved it.
It's really, I love it. It's so good.
I think that kind of wraps it up. Let us know in let us know in the comments what your guys' favorite movies of the year are so far, and our social medias, Letterboxd, Twitter, all that stuff will be linked down below, so you can follow us there. And we'll catch you guys next time.
See ya.